Today marks a significant milestone this is not merely a meeting, but a moment to define the next chapter of our country's transformation journey. We gather here today as stewards of the nation's future, tasked with the solemn responsibility and duty to serve our people with a clear vision, with urgency, with agility, humility, and an unequivocal commitment to the promotion of unity among our people. For too long, Botswana's economy has leaned and relied heavily on diamonds. While this has brought us this far, the limitations of this reliance are increasingly becoming unbearable, as evidenced by rising unemployment, especially among the youth population of our country. If left unaddressed, there's a real risk of the situation becoming not just an economic challenge, but a social time bomb. There is need for a paradigm shift, and this need is not optional. It is urgent. We must begin to think differently. The old ways will not take us to a new future. We are in an era defined by speed, complexity, and opportunity. And at a time like this, the situation demands creativity, innovation, adaptability, and most importantly, collaboration. The challenges we face demand of us to understand and appreciate that we cannot hope to solve them while working in silos. We must break down fragmentation across government and embrace a culture of synergy for enhanced efficiency and effectiveness of our systems. Our strength lies in working together, guided by a unified vision. Today we gather not simply to deliberate, but to decide on the true north of our economy. This is our moment to identify and align the sectors that hold a distinct competitive edge for our country and the greatest potential to unlock transformative value. Whether it is in agriculture, financial services, manufacturing, tourism, or the digital economy, our task is to pinpoint where our natural strengths, market demand, and strategic ambition intersect. These are the sectors that will carry the weight of our transformation, drive inclusive growth, attract investment, create sustainable quality jobs, and position Botswana as a hub of economic dynamism in the region and beyond. Today, we define not only our priorities, but our promise. We also know that economic diversification cannot happen without structural transformation. We therefore must align our institutions, our policies, and our thought patterns to drive change at scale. This means that everything we are building here today must be reflected and entrenched in our long-term national development planning. The good news is that we have the potential. We have the people. Botswana are bright, creative, and full of energy, ideas, and amazing valor and vitality. Through the Call for Ideas initiative, we've already received hundreds of submissions from citizens, the international community, social entrepreneurs, and innovators. This is evidence that the energy for change exists. Let me also point out that extensive district consultations on the National Development Plan have already been conducted by the National Planning Commission. The outputs from the Economic Transformation Program will be infused into the National Development Plan to bring in more technical rigor to our planning process. The key now is to translate this energy into action and deliverables. Not every plan must be perfect, but it must be practical. Strategic vision must meet ground-level delivery. We've set our sight on a bold but achievable goal to become a high-income nation. We have engaged Pemandu Associates because of their global track record in delivering results across Asia, the Middle East, and Africa. Their Big Fast Results methodology is outcome-driven and implementation-focused. This cabinet workshop is the start of a targeted push for execution for both the public, private, and social sectors. As I stated at the launch of the Economic Transformation Program on Tuesday, the 15th of July, 2025, this program will infuse a radical shift on how we plan, not just what we plan. Gone are the days of abstract strategies and noble intentions buried in volumes and reports. We are replacing traditional process-heavy planning with a bold, implementation-based model, one that begins with action, assigns responsibility, and ends with results. Dubbed the Economic Transformation Program, ETP. It will be different and indeed transformative compared to the usual national development plans. Ministries and agencies will no longer operate on vague mandates. They will now work with specific, time-bound and measurable targets. Each institution will be accountable not just for participation, but for delivery. Traditionally, national development plans, NDPs, have been vision-based, setting broad aspirations for economic and social development. The ETP will be action-oriented with specific and measurable targets and transparent progress tracking mechanisms. This will ensure that the ETP is not just a document of intent, but a tool for delivery and impact. As leaders of government, we must lead this transformation with decisiveness and unity of purpose. Success will depend on how we collaborate across ministries, make quick and informed policy decisions, and maintain the discipline to execute. We must deliver as one government with a shared mission and a common vision. Let us draw inspiration from others. Malaysia's Economic Transformation Program eliminated poverty for millions and catalyzed broad-based economic growth. Rwanda's bold investment agenda has positioned it as one of Africa's most dynamic economies. Poland's strategic shift from state-led to private sector-driven growth propelled it to high-income status in 2023. These are not distant dreams. These are models we can learn from and adapt. Botswana has what it takes to transform her economy. The National Planning Committee Advisory Committee is seized with this work and continues to guide the integration process to ensure that our economic transformation program reflects both ambition and action. Let this workshop mark the beginning of a new delivery culture. A new delivery culture grounded on clarity of purpose, courage in decision-making, and collaboration across all levels. Our youth, our entrepreneurs, our future generations are looking up to us. We owe it to them to rise to the occasion. This is a moment when we must carve clear pathways between the inescapable circumstances of existence and the alterable conditions of our society, the alterable arrangement of our institutions. It is, as I have described it before, a propitious moment. This is a propitious moment. And there's only one thing you do with a propitious moment, often expressed in that famous expression, carpe diem, seize the moment. This is a propitious moment. We are here to seize the moment. Ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, friends, fellow change agents, we must leave this place transformed ourselves so that we may then infect others with this transformative zeal and energy and spread it widely across all the breadth and dimensions of our country and our society. It gives me immense pleasure to commence officially the proceedings of the next 2 days and count on all of us to deploy our energies, our resourcefulness, our intellect, guided by the deep domain expertise of Pemandu Associates to chart the way. Thank you very much, colleagues.